see Lindelof videos, find the exact value of trigonometric functions. And I hope you stay to the end of this video because we have a treat for you. So don't go forward, don't fast forward, you bunch of jerks. Stay with us, and then at the end, pow. It's crazy. You're gonna love it. Well, you might not. You might hate it, but we don't care. Just have fun. So we have this. We're gonna find the. This is trig, but in this case, Matt, we have to use some geometry to get this. So we get this clue. It says that they give us that tan of theta, tan of our angle, is 3/4. Brendan, you asked me if we're on the unit circle. We're on a circle, not the unit circle, or they would have said on the unit circle, and it would have been a lot easier for us, right? They also give us that sine of theta is less than 0. So what I'm going to do, thanks Kate Miller, is I'm going to go here and I'm going to look at sine. And I'm going to ask myself, where is sine less than 0? And sine is less than 0 here, and sine is less than 0 here. Isn't that true? Right? We have that tan of theta is 3/4, and tan of theta is, and 3/4 is a positive number. So now I want to kind of ask myself, where is tan of theta positive? Well, tan of theta is positive here, isn't it? And here. So what quadrant are we in? Right, because both of these things are true in this quadrant. So now we can get a better look at what this thing is going to do. So I'm just going to draw this thing in a little bit. So here's our, you know what, Kate? I'm going to stick with your Cartesian plane. Just smart. Now I'm going to say that our angle does this, right? We're in trig, so we have to have a triangle. So here's our triangle, right? So far, so good. And what's true about tan of theta, right? Go to geometry in your head for a second. Tan of theta is equal to what? Opposite over adjacent, isn't it? Isn't that right? So here's adjacent, right? And here's opposite. So it's opposite over adjacent. So adjacent is how much? -4, isn't it? And opposite is -3. Isn't that true? Is my math good? Okay. So what are we missing here? We're missing the hypotenuse. In our case, we wouldn't call this the hypotenuse because we're in trig. We'd call this the radius, wouldn't we? Because this is inside of a circle. But for this illustration, I guess we'll do it this way. Is that all right? So now what? Now what? Pythagorean theorem, right? We're going to have to go back to geometry to do this. So Pythagorean theorem, we're going to do x squared, which is a squared, isn't it? Plus b squared, which is y to us, is equal to c squared, or h. In our case, it's r squared, because you're right, this becomes a radius of a circle, right? We're on a circle here. So, but I'll just make it h squared if you don't mind. I'm going to fill in those values. This has to be negative because we went to the left of 0. This has to be negative because we went under a height of 0. So we have -4 squared plus -3 squared equals h squared. Isn't that right? Going to just do a little bit of math here. And we're going to get 16 plus 9, aren't we? Is equal to h squared. Just more math. H is equal to what? H is equal to 5. And if you can kind of picture this in your head, now, Jeannie, this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle, right? We're not geometrists, but we remember that, hopefully. So that gives us 5. What's the big deal? We're done, kind of, aren't we? Holly, don't you think we're about done? I mean, the hardest part of this is finished, isn't it? Now we just have to start taking values and say, okay, sine of theta is equal to, well, sine is what in geometry? Opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is -3. Hypotenuse is 5. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, which is equal to -4 over 5. How many of you are thinking about what we're about to do? You don't even think about this problem anymore. You just can't wait to get to that thing and blast. Yeah, all right. That's cool. That's all right. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And then, look, we can prove tan of theta. They gave us tan of theta is 3/4, didn't they? But we can prove it because tan of theta is opposite over adjacent, isn't it? Opposite is -3. Adjacent is -4 is equal to 3/4. So that proved out good, didn't it? And we can keep chasing the rest of the other 3 trig functions. I'll leave you to do that on your own. I'm not going to make you do that because, frankly, I'm ready to do that thing, aren't you? You guys ready? All right, here we go, you guys. We're proud of you for staying with us, and here's your reward, friends. Best English teacher in the world. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do.